The President of the United States commands a military that spans the globe and holds the launch codes to a nuclear arsenal. In international politics, this position represents the command center of a global military network. Yet within the boundaries of this room, executive power hits a hard limit. Despite commanding fleets and armies, the person sitting at that desk possesses zero independent funding and cannot unilaterally draft or pass a single domestic law. The architects of the American government lived in deep fear of monarchs. They stripped the executive office of the ability to make laws and placed the actual machinery of the state inside the Capitol. The American system is built to generate intentional, exhausting friction. Stability depends on the legislative branch acting as a perpetual counterweight to the executive. Congress executes this control through three distinct mechanisms that govern how laws are made, who the president can hire, and how the money is spent. The first mechanism is the legislative process. Congress breaks its work into dozens of specialized committees that act as high-pressure filters. These are the graveyards where the majority of a president's policy goals die without ever seeing a vote. If a bill survives committee, it enters the House of Representatives. This chamber is loud and strictly governed by mathematics. Whichever political party holds the majority dictates the rules and pushes legislation through rapidly. However, any bill that clears the House hits a structural barrier, the Senate. Designed to be immune to sudden shifts in public momentum, the Senate gives immense leverage to the minority party. The primary tool for stopping this momentum is the filibuster. In the Senate, a single politician can indefinitely delay a vote by refusing to yield the floor, halting the entire legislative system in its tracks. This labyrinth guarantees that the executive branch cannot rush changes into law. Every major initiative requires a high level of systemic consensus to survive the gauntlet. The second mechanism limits the president's ability to build a team. The executive branch cannot appoint cabinet secretaries, agency directors, or federal judges without navigating a Senate confirmation process. Individual senators use informal traditions to tighten this control. Under senatorial courtesy, lawmakers will reject a federal nominee if the senators from that nominee's home state object. Any senator can also place a hold on a nomination, silently freezing the appointment from moving forward. Congress also enforces its authority through formal oversight. They hold the power to issue a subpoena, a legally binding order that forces high-ranking executive officials to appear in public hearings, testify under oath, and surrender internal documents. Between the confirmation process and the threat of public investigation, the president must constantly negotiate with lawmakers just to staff and run their own administration. The third mechanism of control is the budget. While the president submits an annual national budget proposal, this document is a non-binding request. Congress holds the actual wallet. Lawmakers use the allocation of funds to dictate policy. By defunding a specific executive agency, Congress can neutralize a president's initiative without ever passing a law to ban it. If executive spending breaks congressional limits, strict financial tripwires are activated. Under pay-go rules, any new spending must be mathematically offset by cuts or revenue. If the math fails, it triggers sequestration, automatic across-the-board budget cuts that slash funding throughout federal departments. In Washington, the branch controlling the money controls the rules. This effectively anchors the executive's ambitions to congressional accounting. To an outside observer, this maze of committee rules, filibusters, holds, and budget resolutions looks like a nightmare of bureaucratic inefficiency. But this gridlock is a feature of the design. The American government was engineered to stop bad decisions rather than facilitate fast ones. This machinery ensures that no single branch and no single individual can operate without checks, balances, and compromise. Stability in the United States is anchored in the grueling labyrinth of rules required to earn a president's signature. The strength of the system lies in the difficulty of navigating it.